Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
COVID in schools. The Winnebago County Health Department says students and staff have it. We look at how the virus might be spreading.
And the 2020 campaign for president comes to the state line. Vice President Mike Pence's message for voters.
Plus, building for a cause. Students learn skills of the trade while impacting the lives of local families.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. The Winnebago County's COVID positive rate spikes again.
It's now at 6.8%, the highest since the county started keeping track. Over the weekend, the county reported an additional 79 cases, but the recovery rate is holding steady. It's been right around 96% for months. One big worry right now is schools. Michelle Rave joins us now with an update from the health department. Michelle?
Dr. Sandra Martell says there are positive cases with students and staff in nearly every school. But the director of Winnebago County Health Department says none of those cases have been transmitted within a school. Instead, they've all gotten it outside of class in the community. That's why they're working closely with the schools with contact tracing so that a student or teacher knows who they've been in contact with, and those people can be watched for symptoms. Dr. Martell also reminds parents that if there's an outbreak, they don't plan on shutting down all schools like back in March.
We are going to be very tactical and strategic in looking at the transmission in the school, the number of cases that may be acquired in the community around that, so that one school within a district may have a very different response than another school.
Coming up at 6, 3 Winnebago County businesses have been named as non-compliant. I'll tell you about those and what needs to be done to get them off that list. Eric?
Thanks, Michelle. A local church keeps its effort going of feeding people during the pandemic. Hundreds of cars lined up around City First Church this morning on Spring Creek and Mulford. This was the church's 8th drive-through food drive with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. There were boxes upon boxes stacked up in the parking lot full of produce, dairy products, and meat. People could drive right up, pop their trunk, and a volunteer put one of each of the boxes into the car. Organizers say they'll keep doing these because there are still a lot of people out of work or not working full hours.
There is still so much need. In fact, a family came through today with a little girl, and she said that she's been waiting to eat today. She hasn't had anything to eat until they went through this food distribution line. So there is a great need.
The next food distribution at City First is planned for October 22nd. If you can't get out, a friend or neighbor can pick up boxes for you.
We now know the name of the 18-year-old killed in Rockford last week. The Winnebago County coroner says Krishawn Arnold was pronounced dead at St. Anthony Medical Center late Tuesday night. Rockford police were called to the area of Webster Avenue and Green Street for shots fired, but only found casings in the street. About 30 minutes later, they found Arnold in the 1900 block of Elm Street. He told officers he'd been shot. Right now, there are no suspects in this latest homicide. If you have any information, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
The vice president makes a campaign stop in Rock County.
But I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And that is that Wisconsin and America need 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House.
Vice President Mike Pence spoke at the Make America Great rally in Janesville this morning. Pence emphasized the president's pledge to maintain law and order. He credited the president with stopping the violence in Kenosha after he sent 200 federal officers there. The VP also touched on COVID, the economy, and abortion. Wisconsin's expected to be a key swing state in the November election. President Trump won the Badger State in 2016. The vice president's visit brought supporters and detractors to Janesville.
Hannah Zettel was there, and as she found out, many are ready for 4 more years, while others are ready for a change.
I'd like to see Trump get 4 more years and let him finish what he was doing.
I loved it. I wish we could get President Trump here. Mike Pence was really great, and it was great to see him.
Nearly 300 state-line voters started the week showing support for Vice President Mike Pence.
I think he has a really great message. I saw people from my church, my gym, schools in our community here.
The vice president's motorcade pulling up to the Janesville Holiday Inn Conference Center Monday. Multiple police agencies on scene as supporters made their way through security into the socially distanced event.
Oh my God, it was electrifying. It was social distancing. I had my mask on. Everyone was friendly. And, you know, it was like 3 African Americans in there. It was just so funny, right?
Rockford native Kevin Doom says the Trump administration earned his vote for its support of African American colleges.
Our president has helped more African Americans and more minorities in the United States than even President Obama. You know, we need to end the violence on the streets, and we need to stay away from, Sleepy Joe.
Eyewitness News was not allowed inside the conference center, but supporters say the VP discussed key issues.
The vice president talked about supporting police.
Law and order, talked about religion.
Supporting the military the way they're doing it.
A pair of protesters posted up outside the rally.
It'll be a whole lot worse in 4 years.
One man hopes to see Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden in the Oval Office to address climate change.
Biden will listen to people of reason and knowledge. He's right on all these issues, and he's listening to the experts who are going to guide us out of our current multiplicity of gigantic problems.
In Janesville, for your home team, I'm Hannah Zettel.
There's a new place for Winnebago County voters to cast their ballot early. It's in the old City Trends in Meadow Mart Shopping Center on North 2nd and Windsor. That'll be open weekdays starting Monday, October 16th from 8:30 until 7 p.m. and weekends from 9 to 5. The Winnebago County Clerk says this will help relieve congestion at polling locations on Election Day. You can also vote early at the Winnebago County Administration Building on Elm Street in downtown Rockford.
For those who have not filled out the census, there's still time. The deadline is September 30th. There are 3 different ways you can complete the census. You can respond online, by phone, or by mail. State Representative Maurice West says it's important for the community to step up and fill it out so that every part of Rockford is accounted for. The census helps determine how much funding local communities receive for public services.
We got to make sure that the whole city of Rockford is counted. Right now, when we look at our numbers, it's the south and west side of Rockford that is fairly low, and we would love to see that number increase.
All personal information collected by the Census Bureau is kept confidential. They will not ask about Social Security numbers or citizenship status.
A local nonprofit and RPS students kick off another season of building homes for state-line families. Rockford construction trade students from Guilford and East are taking part. The Rockford Area Habitat for Humanity projects are located on Carroll Place next to Sandy Hollow Golf Course. Every Monday and Thursday, students will take part in every aspect of building. It gives them hands-on experience and a glimpse at possible careers.
I want to be an electrician, and using these skills that I work on the house, I focus on a lot on everything, but mostly on the electrician part of it. It's really good. It's one of the best classes here in Guilford.
This is the first year East high school students are on the job site. The U.S. Gulf Coast once again braces for weather that could tear things apart.
This as Tropical Storm Sally's upgraded to a hurricane and churns north. Elwin Lopez has more as residents brace for Sally.
Slow-moving Hurricane Sally rapidly intensifying, threatening Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Sally is expected to slam the Gulf Coast as a Category 2 storm in less than 24 hours.
We're trying to drain the city as fast as we receive the rain. So we're just trying to do the best that we can to prepare our city for a lot of rainfall.
In Louisiana, coastal and low-lying areas bracing for up to 11 feet of storm surge. An added strain for communities still recovering from Hurricane Laura. And in Mississippi, families racing to get out of the storm's path.
If this one hits the coast at a Cat 2, I'm thinking we're going to have at least 6 to 7 foot of water where we standing at.
Officials worry the storm's slow pace could dump rain for days.
The slowing of the storm, that is concerning. The longer and it stays out in the Gulf of Mexico, the more and higher the likelihood is that it continues to grow in size and scope and severity.
The Atlantic now seeing a record number of storms. Hurricane Paulette encircling the entire island of Bermuda, and newly formed tropical storms Teddy and Vicky adding to the already busy hurricane season.
Now your first warned weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Temperatures are nice and comfortable across the area to kick off our work week today, reaching the lower to middle 70s, which is just a little bit below average for this time of year. Right now, we're at 74 degrees in Rockford, 73 in Rochelle, 72 in Freeport, and 72 for a current temperature up in Monroe. We didn't see a whole lot of sunshine for much of the area today. A lot of that was because of some cloud cover, but a lot of it was also being obstructed by some haze that's being carried over from the wildfires taking place out along the west coast. Our jet stream here is dragging this haze all the way across the plains, and it's making its way into the Midwest as well. So this is what's keeping a lot of the sunshine, or at least what kept a lot of the sunshine from actually making it down near the surface today. And we'll likely continue to see this pattern at least for another day, maybe another couple of days as well. This haze was especially evident this morning. If you take a look at the sunrise as seen from our Mercy Hill Skytrack out at the Poplar Grove Airport, you can see as the sun starts to come over the horizon, it's very hard to make out here past all this haze. A lot of this isn't actually cloud cover, what you're seeing, but the haze as a result of these wildfires kept a lot of the sunshine from actually reaching the surface earlier on this morning. We didn't see any rain today, however, and that is because we're still under the influence of a very large system of high pressure that's keeping much of the country very dry and very clear today as well, from all the way out in the Central Plains to parts of the Ohio Valley. Here's a look at our futurecast. We will see a little bit of clearing in the cloud cover through the evening, but a lot of the cloud cover is going to clear up overnight tonight, and that will leave us with mostly sunny skies for our Tuesday tomorrow. We're once again not expecting any rain here in the state line for our Tuesday. Conditions will remain nice and clear through the night between Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll start off the day on Wednesday with mostly sunny skies, but by the afternoon we will see a little bit more cloud cover move in before a cold front pushes through, which is going to really cool our temperatures off by Thursday. Here's a little update on Hurricane Sally. It is now a Category 2 hurricane. It went from being a tropical storm to a Category 2 hurricane in a matter of just a couple of hours. Right now it has maximum sustained wind speeds of around 100 miles an hour. This is also a very dangerous storm because it's moving so slowly, only at around 6 miles per hour as it now barrels toward the western part of the Florida Panhandle and the Alabama and Mississippi coasts. And here's a look at potential rainfall totals over the next few days. Some areas along the coast could expect to see upwards of around 10 to even 15 inches of rainfall. Local areas possibly could see up to 20 inches of rainfall. Plenty of rainfall also making its way inland as well, on top of what could be upwards of 10 feet of storm surge in areas along the coast. Here's an infrared satellite image of the storm over the past 6 hours. You can see a lot of the storm's cloud cover has already made its way over land. The eye itself will likely make landfall in about 24 hours, a little bit over 24 hours from now. Now tonight here in the state line, temperatures will drop into the lower 50s with clearing cloud cover through the night and lots of sunshine tomorrow. But once again, a lot of that sunshine could possibly be obstructed by more haze overhead. Temperatures will reach the upper 70s, possibly getting into the lower 80s in a couple of areas. We'll likely see another day spent in the upper 70s to lower 80s on Wednesday before a big cool down comes through starting on Thursday, dropping us to the lower 70s for Thursday, middle 60s for Friday.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
It is a victory Monday for the Bears, and anytime you can get an NFL win, you take it. But yesterday's game left as many questions as answers about the team. The biggest question being Mitch Trubisky. Was he as bad as he looked for 3 quarters? Or was he as good as he looked in the 4th quarter? Here's the thing to keep in mind about Trubisky. He's had 7 other games in his career when he teased us by throwing 3 or more touchdown passes, only to let everyone down in the following weeks. And he's always had his best games against the Lions. His career passer rating against them is 106. And can this defense still dominate? It certainly didn't yesterday. It gave up 426 yards of offense to the Lions. The Bears had only 1 sack. Khalil Mack was fairly quiet. And if not for that DeAndre Swift drop at the end, the defense would have lost this game for the Bears. We'll look for more answers this Sunday against the Giants. As for the Packers, that was an impressive showing against the Vikings. And we won't be seeing Jordan Love on the field unless it's mop-up duty time or unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. I think Marquez Valdes-Scantling is the X factor on offense. The Packers need a dependable number 2 receiver. He showed signs yesterday he could be the guy. But the Packers already have multiple injuries up on the offensive line. Can they weather those? Despite the wins by the Bears and the Packers, the biggest highlight of the weekend for many of us was James Robinson's NFL debut with the Jaguars against the Colts. All he did was rush for 62 yards, and he had this acrobatic catch and run that saw him leap a defender. That'll go down as one of the NFL plays of the year, and we're only in week 1. Robinson was asked after the game if his debut performance exceeded his own expectations.
honestly, just being out there, first NFL game as a rookie, undrafted. I mean, it felt amazing, but I also just wanted to help my team win any way I could. And I mean, obviously scoring would have been great, but I mean, the plays that I think I made helped my teammates out. Even the receivers told me making it easier for us. So, I mean, it was great.
I feel that this guy is going to, be a good football player. And I think I didn't realize the one play though when he jumped up and came through that tackle. I didn't think he had that in him. So I'm not gonna say I saw that in practice.
We knew what we had in James, and we knew he could do it. And man, just so happy for him.
Robinson was the only Jaguars running back who had any carries yesterday, so until they get some guys healthy again, he should get a lot of opportunities.
Look at our first one, Interactive Radar, brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and more. Send it over to the now Category 2 hurricane. Sally's starting to bring some rain and even a little bit of storm surge to parts of the southeast. That will, of course, get a lot more intense as it approaches land. Will make landfall later tomorrow night. Now, here in the state line, dry conditions and warm conditions going to stick around for the next few days here. As temperatures reach the lower 80s potentially over the next couple of days, dropping to the lower 70s by Thursday, 60s by Friday. No significant rain chances all the way through the weekend.
Big change compared to last week when it rained almost every day. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.
Stay safe.